This is unexpected. All the teams have banded together in an unprecedented move, saying no more to extending their talks with NASCAR. This isn't just any disagreement, it's a huge shift from the past. Imagine all your favorite teams standing together demanding fair play. With big names like Jeff Gordon in the mix, the pressure is on. The clock's ticking, the engines are revving, and everyone's eyes are on NASCAR. Stay tuned to NASCAR Zone to find out what's going to happen next in this high-octane standoff. But before we jump, hit that subscribe button. There's been a big problem in discussions, and the NASCAR teams are showing strong unity. This is a big moment in the relationship between NASCAR and its teams, and shows how unhappy the teams are and how determined they are to work together. At the end of 2023, the time for negotiating the charter agreement was over, but they agreed to add another month to talk more. When January ended and it became February, all the teams decided not to extend the talks with NASCAR for another month. This decision shows how frustrated the teams are with how the talks are going. This united action is very important. It's a big change from how teams used to deal with NASCAR on their own. Now they are together, showing that they know how important they are to the sport and want fair treatment in the new agreement. The team negotiating committee is at the center of these talks. This group has important people from big racing teams like Dave Alpern from Joe Gibbs Racing, Steve Newmark from RFK Racing, Curtis Polk from 23XI Racing, and Jeff Gordon from Hendrick Motorsports. These well-known people are involved because the talks are very important and they bring their knowledge and influence. The job of this committee is to look out for what all the teams want in the talks. This is hard because different teams want different things. They want to make a deal that solves the team's money problems now and helps them grow in the future. With the current charter ending in less than a year and no new agreement yet, there's a lot of pressure. Without a deal, teams could technically join other racing series, but that's not likely because NASCAR is very big and the teams have a lot invested in it. For NASCAR, this is a tricky situation. They could go on without an agreement from all the teams, but that might upset important people and hurt the sport's unity and ability to compete. The discussion between NASCAR and its teams about the new charter agreement, there are a few big issues they can't agree on. The teams want more things like permanent charters and more money, but they're not on the same page about how to figure out NASCAR's media money. Teams are allowed to look at NASCAR's financial records related to media income because of the original charter system. NASCAR is offering to give teams more money, up to 42% of the media revenue from 2025 to 2031, which is more than the 35% they get now. Another way of calculating this could see teams getting 49% in the future, up from 39% now. Either way, teams would get more than 40% of the media money, which is closer to the 50-50 split than many people in the racing world think is fair. Right now, teams are getting nearly $210 million from media rights, but they also get money from track promoter fees and a bit from NASCAR. Even with all this money, teams say they're not making much profit because sponsorship money is going down, but the cost of racing is high. The least successful teams get about $5 million each year, but they hope this will go up to around $10 million in the next deal. This would help them rely less on sponsorship money. The way the charter system works is based on how well teams have done in the past. This system doesn't end until 2024, so there's still time to figure out a new deal. But not having an agreement before the racing season starts is something NASCAR wanted to avoid. Now that the talks are taking longer, there will be more attention and talk about these negotiations. Now, before we continue, kindly make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for each and every update. NASCAR teams are facing big money problems because it's really expensive to race and they don't get enough money from sponsors anymore. Most of the money for the teams comes from companies that sponsor them, but this isn't as reliable as it used to be. Teams need a lot of money to race. It can cost more than $20 million a year for just one car. The teams are asking for more money from NASCAR because they're not making enough profit. They get money from media rights, which is the money NASCAR makes from TV and online broadcasting, but this isn't enough to cover all their costs. The 2024 NASCAR season is starting soon, with a big race in Los Angeles and then the famous Daytona 500. Everyone is watching to see if NASCAR and the teams can agree on a new deal and how this will impact the racing. The situation between NASCAR and its teams over the new charter agreement is very important for the future of racing. Right now, it doesn't look like they'll agree on a new deal soon. Many people who know a lot about racing think they will eventually make a deal, though. They believe it's important for both sides to work together. NASCAR has been a big name in racing for over 75 years. It's very popular and has a lot of fans. But the drivers and the teams that pay them are the ones who really make the races exciting. Teams like Hendrick Motorsports, Team Penske, Woods Brothers Racing, and Joe Gibbs Racing have been around for a long time and are very well known. It would be hard for NASCAR to find new teams that are as good and popular as these. If they don't make a deal, it could lead to big changes for both NASCAR and the teams. While NASCAR is open to keeping the charter system, they might take away the team's charters if no agreement is reached. This would be really bad for the teams because the value of their charters has gone up a lot recently, and now they're worth almost $40 million. Most of the money NASCAR makes from the media, like TV shows and online streaming, goes to the teams in its top racing series. But if there's no new deal, this could change and would affect how the teams in NASCAR work together. So everyone is watching to see what happens next. The decisions made now will have a big impact on NASCAR racing for many years. If NASCAR and the teams don't agree on a new deal, there could be some big problems. One possibility is that NASCAR might take back the charters from the teams. This would be a huge deal because these charters are now worth a lot of money, close to $40 million each. Losing a charter would be a big financial hit for any team. Another big issue is what happens to the money from media rights. Right now, most of this money goes to the teams in NASCAR's top series, but if there's no new deal, this could change. The teams might get less money, which would make it harder for them to pay for racing. Both NASCAR and the teams have something the other needs. NASCAR has a long history and a big fan base, while the teams have famous drivers and lots of experience in racing. They need to work together to keep NASCAR popular and successful. The decision not to extend the negotiation talks shows that the teams are serious about getting a better deal. They want more money and better terms to help them stay competitive and make a profit. As the 2024 racing season begins, these ongoing talks and the lack of a new deal will be watched closely. The outcome of these negotiations will affect not just this season, but the future of NASCAR racing. Everyone hopes that NASCAR and the teams can agree on a new deal that works for both sides and keeps the sport strong. So that's all for this video. Hit that subscribe button for more NASCAR updates.